What happens when three OLED heavyweights enter the ring? You get a battle of pure blacks, eye-searing highlights, and features galore. In one corner, Samsung's new S90D OLED, a flashy up-and-comer promising top-tier tech without the top-tier price. In the other, the LG C4, the latest in LG's legendary C-series lineage, carrying the torch of best OLED for most people. And finally, Sony's A80L, a cinematic powerhouse with sound to match. Who comes out on top for your living room? Welcome to our OLED TV Showdown. Today we're comparing the Samsung S90D, LG C4, and Sony A80L in a full breakdown. We'll cover design and sizes, display quality, smart features, gaming chops, sound, value, and ultimately which is best for whom. And hey, you can find the best deals for all these TVs using the links in the video description. We've done the hunting, so you don't have to. Now grab a snack, sit back, and let's dive into this bright and beautiful battle of the OLEDs. All three of these TVs are OLED, meaning pixel-level lighting control that delivers perfect blacks and infinite contrast. In a dark room, black parts of the image vanish into true black on all of them. No blooming, no grayish haze, just inky darkness. And all three produce brilliant colors and wide viewing angles. But there are differences when you put them side by side. Samsung S90D, in its QD-OLED sizes, has a secret weapon: quantum dots. This blends OLED with quantum dot nanotech for more vivid color. The result? The S90D can display incredibly vibrant and lifelike colors with no color washout at high brightness. HDR highlights on the S90D pop. It's one of the brightest OLED TVs out there. Reviewers measured its peak brightness around 1200 nits on a 10% HDR window, extremely high for an OLED. So in HDR viewing, the Samsung often punches harder than LG and Sony in brightness. Colors are Pantone validated, which means it's tuned for color accuracy out of the box. The LG C4 uses LG's latest OLED Evo panel tech, with a brightness booster algorithm that can improve brightness over older models. The C4 hits roughly 900 to 930 nits peak in HDR. That's a nice bump from the previous C3 and enough to make HDR highlights look impressive. LG's strength is in its picture processing and calibration. The C4 with its A9 Gen 7 processor produces wonderfully accurate colors, perfect blacks, and excellent shadow detail. It supports Dolby Vision, offering vibrant colors and dynamic contrast. The S90D, by contrast, does not support Dolby Vision. On the LG and Sony, Dolby Vision movies will automatically use that dynamic HDR for potentially better tone mapping. Sony's A80L is using a OLED panel similar to the C4. Its peak brightness is a bit lower, around 600 to 700 nits in HDR peaks, making it the dimmest of this trio for pure HDR punch. Sony compensates with masterful image processing. Their cognitive processor XR is famous for producing a very natural, refined picture. Motion handling is where Sony often leads. The A80L has excellent motion interpolation and handling of 24p films to reduce judder. Upscaling of lower quality content is another Sony specialty. Low-res cable channels or old DVDs will likely look a tad cleaner on the A80L, as its processing finds extra detail and suppresses noise better than most. Color-wise, Sony and LG use the conventional OLED approach, which can sometimes slightly desaturate very bright colors. Samsung's QD-OLED doesn't have a white subpixel, so it maintains color saturation even at high luminance, meaning bright neon reds or greens stay richly colored on the S90D when they might appear a touch more muted on the others. In practice, all three have excellent color, but the Samsung's quantum dot advantage may show in the form of extra pop in the colors. All three have wide viewing angles. You can sit off to the side and the image stays accurate. The S90D in particular is noted for its incredible off-axis viewing, retaining color and contrast at acute angles. LG and Sony's OLEDs also perform great from the side. Colors don't shift and contrast remains strong. To summarize picture quality, Samsung's S90D wins on brightness and color volume. It's the choice for punchy HDR and vivid, wow factor colors. It does, however, lack Dolby Vision HDR support, which LG and Sony include. LG's C4 is a fantastic all-rounder, very bright with support for Dolby Vision and impeccable color accuracy, making it a superb choice for mixed movie watching and bright room use. Sony's A80L is a touch more focused on the darkroom movie experience. Not as bright, but with beautifully tuned picture processing and motion, Plus, it fully supports Dolby Vision and more. All three TVs are incredibly slim OLED panels, but there are some key design differences. Samsung's S90D sports an ultra-slim profile, just over an inch thick without the stand, giving it that artwork on your wall vibe. It comes with a sleek unibody pedestal stand mounted centrally. The pedestal design not only looks clean, but it means you don't need a giant console table to support it. Though a few users noticed a slight wobble due to the narrow stand. Nothing too crazy, but worth mentioning if you live with rambunctious pets or kids. LG's C4 also goes for a minimalist approach. It has an ultra-slim design with incredibly narrow bezels that maximize the picture. The C4 uses a low-profile center stand as well, a metal pedestal that looks modern and doesn't hog space. The design is elegance and simplicity. In essence, the screen is the star of the show, with almost no border or bulk to distract you. Sony's A80L is similarly premium, but with a twist. It has adjustable aluminum feet instead of a center pedestal. You can position its 2 feet in a wide stance at the edges or a narrow stance closer to center, and even raise the TV a bit to fit a soundbar underneath. This 3-position stand is super handy if your table isn't as wide or if you plan to slot a soundbar in front. The A80L is a tad thicker at about 2.1 inches deep, but it still looks sleek. The bezels are extremely thin, giving it a nearly all-picture face. When it comes to size options, LG offers the broadest range. But for the common sizes, all three brands have you covered. Each of these OLEDs comes with its own smart platform. Samsung uses Tizen. LG uses WebOS. Sony sticks with Google TV. All are capable, but the experience is a bit different. Samsung's Tizen OS is packed with features. You get all the big streaming apps plus Samsung TV Plus for free live content. There's also a gaming hub that lets you stream Xbox games straight from the TV, no console needed. It's handy, but the interface can sometimes feel cluttered. Still, it's smooth and responsive on the S90D thanks to its strong processor. LG's WebOS is known for its simplicity. The C4 runs the 2024 version, which is fast and customizable. You get quick access to your apps, smart recommendations, and a cool pointer-style remote called the Magic Remote. LG also supports Google Assistant and Alexa, plus AirPlay and Apple HomeKit. It's a great ecosystem if you're tied into Apple or LG smart devices. Sony's A80L runs Google TV. It's intuitive, feature-rich, and deeply tied to Google Assistant. If you're a Google user, this feels like home. It has Chromecast built in and supports a massive library of apps. It's arguably the most powerful of the three platforms, but also the most busy in terms of layout. All three TVs support voice control and all the major streaming apps. Your choice will depend on which smart ecosystem you prefer. Gaming is a big win across the board. Samsung S90D supports up to 144Hz refresh rates, perfect for high-end PC gamers. It's loaded with HDMI 2.1 ports, all 4 are full bandwidth. That means PS5, Xbox, and PC can all be connected without compromise. FreeSync Premium is built in, and Game Mode offers ultra-low input lag. LG C4 also supports up to 144Hz with full HDMI 2.1 on all 4 ports. It's compatible with both G-Sync and FreeSync, making it a favorite for PC gamers. Input lag is super low, and the Game Optimizer menu gives you quick access to settings mid-game. Plus, it supports Dolby Vision gaming, something Samsung doesn't. Sony A80L supports 4K 120Hz on 2 of its HDMI ports. That's fine for most, but less flexible if you have multiple devices. It doesn't support 144Hz or FreeSync. However, it does a great job with PlayStation 5 integration. Automatic HDR tone mapping and genre-specific settings make the PS5 experience feel polished. Input lag is slightly higher than LG and Samsung, but still good. All three are fantastic for gaming, but if you want top-tier flexibility and support across consoles and PC, LG and Samsung have the edge. Samsung S90D has 2.1-channel audio with 40 watts of power. It supports Dolby Atmos and works with Samsung's Q Symphony. Pair it with a Samsung soundbar, and the TV's speakers will join in for a fuller sound. On its own, it's decent for everyday use, but not earth-shaking. LG C4 offers a 2.2-channel setup with a similar 40 watts. It uses AI Sound Pro to simulate surround sound and supports Dolby Atmos. It's solid, clear, and a step above Samsung in bass, but still benefits from a soundbar. Sony A80L stands out. It uses Acoustic Surface Audio Plus, where the screen itself acts as a speaker. Sound feels like it's coming from the picture. Dialogue is crisp, and it offers a more immersive experience than the others. It also supports Dolby Atmos and can act as a center channel when paired with a Sony sound system. Sony wins the sound category, hands down. If you don't want to add a soundbar, the A80L is the best standalone performer. Value is where things get spicier. Samsung's S90D is the most aggressively priced, but it's a steal considering its features. It undercuts LG and Sony while offering top-tier picture and gaming tech. LG C4 hovers around the same price, sometimes slightly higher, but it adds Dolby Vision, broader gaming compatibility, and long-term trust in LG's OLED expertise. It's still a fantastic value. Sony A80L tends to be the most expensive. You're paying for Sony's processing and sound system. If you value audio and cinematic accuracy, it might be worth it, but it's not the spec monster Samsung or LG are. Here's the summary. Get the Samsung S90D if you want the brightest OLED, the most vibrant colors, excellent gaming, and a great deal. It's the tech lover's choice. Pick the LG C4 if you want Dolby Vision, fantastic color accuracy, great gaming performance, and a balanced all-around performer. It's the safest, most versatile pick. Choose the Sony A80L if you're a film buff who wants amazing sound, subtle picture processing, and seamless PlayStation 5 integration. It's the premium cinematic option. No matter what you choose, you're getting OLED magic. And hey, you can find the best deals for all these TVs using the links in the video description. We've done the hunting so you don't have to. That's our showdown. Like, subscribe, and comment below with your pick. Samsung, LG, or Sony. Which team are you on?